We are going to talk Scott Pilgrim. Are you ready?
Yes,
Because you
I'm
were
ready.
a fan of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It says, get ready for the sadness that is this news. Scott Pilgrim anime series in development at Netflix. Why does it have to be Netflix? Why couldn't it be Amazon Prime?
Well, that's true. But have you seen the original movie and read the comic books?
I've seen the movie once. I remember almost nothing about it. I want to cover this because you love the movie.
I really like the movie. So basically, the girl that he's wants to date.
It feels like it's one of those movies for me that got memory hold. The only reason that I remember anything about it now is because a lot of people hate on Brie Larson, and Brie Larson got her big break kind of in this movie.
She did.
She was in this, not big break,
she's
but she
Roma.
but she was in this movie.
Mm-hmm. She was Roma. My bad.
So it says Netflix is developing a Scott Pilgrim anime series. I literally can feel everyone who hated Cowboy Bebop rolling their eyes right now as we speak. It says Variety is confirmed with sources. The show would be produced by UCP, Brian Lee O'Malley, who created the Scott Pilgrim graphic novel series. That's a good thing. At least he's involved.
They said that about Avatar now.
Yeah, right.
Creators are dropping out.
That's true. The same thing. What was the other one that came out this year? The Neil Gaiman series. There's a new Neil Gaiman series. I can't remember which one it is. But it's another one where they're changing a bunch of the characters, and like they listed all 9 of the characters, and they listed the actors' pronouns in it. Like, why is this relevant to just a cast list announcement? It made
which series?
I don't remember the name. It's based off a graphic novel. I can't remember it now though. But
okay, I didn't even know he wrote Coraline.
He also did Neil Gaiman. Also, isn't he the one who did?
He did Good Omens and American Gods.
American Gods. That's the other one that most people remember, which had a very good first 2 seasons.
Yep.
So it says, so the creator, Brian Lee O'Malley, who created Scott Pilgrim graphic novel series, would write and executive produce the anime version along with Ben David Grabinski. The pair would also serve as co-showrunners. This doesn't always work because writing a graphic novel, writing a book, is not the same thing as writing a television script, a movie script, or a treatment, as J.K. Rowling has proven. The skills don't necessarily translate. That's not trying to be mean. I'm just saying that they're different skill sets altogether. I mean, everyone knows that nobody likes Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. It's not even a Broadway play. It's like
just burn it.
Just
burn it to the ground.
And the Fantastic Beasts movies have been average,
I like them,
but not anywhere near as impactful as the actual Harry Potter books.
That's true. Well, I like them because I love the CGI where they have the animals, like all the creatures that Newton gets.
Scamander.
Yeah, basically, the second movie where they still had Johnny Depp, where he gets that weird lion dragon thing, and he's playing with it with a cat toy. I thought that was really cute and beautiful because it flows, you can feel it flowing.
The animation the CGI and the atmosphere of the movie absolutely carries. When you watch those trailers and you see the intros for those movies, they feel like Harry Potter movies. I just don't feel that the writing, and I don't feel like the writing in the movie adaptations was up to scratch either. A lot of those movies, the 4th movie especially, if you didn't read the book, you would have no clue what the frick was going on in that movie. Because it basically it assumes you've read the book and know everything. So all these leaps are made where they go from one scene to the next, and you're like, how the hell did they get there? You would know if you read the book, but if you didn't, you just kind of have to go with it. And that doesn't really work.
Also, off topic, is the series that you're talking about The Sandman? Because he wrote that. Neil.
Is it out yet?
No, it's going to be out soon.
Does it list the characters?
Oh, wait, no, there is, right here, the Netflix series, The Sandman.
I don't think that's the one I was talking, but it could be. I said, this is just something I read in passing a while back. Who's listed as the character? Is the character of Death listed in there?
Yeah, it's a woman, Kirby.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I think that's the one they were talking about, Lady Death.
Well, yeah, a lot of his books were made into TV shows and movies. So
Neil Gaiman is a very influential. He's kind of he's a very, very influential name in that field, especially since now most of these studios are just looking for properties to mine and turn into content, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So they can do that with a lot of his work because he's kind of more avant-garde, like Swamp Thing over at DC, what used to be DC Universe, but now it's all just HBO Max.
Also, he is one of the reasons why we have Eternals.
He created the character.
He created the characters, but I don't blame him. I don't blame him.
It's not his fault that movie. It's not his fault that movie was awful. They could have made that movie about Angelina Jolie's character and the guy who was with her and made it an entirely different movie, and it would have been freaking awesome. No, that wasn't his fault. That's on. Like I said, once you get to the stage of like what they're doing here, once you make it into an anime or you make it into a live action, that is no longer the author's fault. It's whoever writes that script and does that treatment. So it says the graphic novels follow it says sorry, I started a paragraph late there. Science Saru would provide the animation. I don't know the Inyun Choi of Science Saru will produce. I apologize for the mix-up with the names. Will produce with Abel Gongora on board to direct. Edgar Wright, Edgar Wright, who was behind the film Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, would executive produce alongside Near Park, Mark Platt, Jared Leboff, and Adam Siegel of Mark Platt Productions, as well as Michael Bacall. I've heard of a couple of those names. I've heard of Adam Siegel, and I know who Edgar Wright is. So, but if Edgar Wright's not directing, being a producer means nothing. In that, it's remember that? Did you remember the original Deadpool trailers from the producers of 27 Dresses? So like, they're pointing out the fact that who produced a previous version means nothing. So it says, the graphic novels follow the titular Scott, a slacker and bassist living in Toronto. He falls in love with a girl named Ramona Flowers, but first must defeat all 7 evil exes so they can date. 6 volumes of the graphic novel were published, with the most recent dropping in 2010. The film version was released in 2010. Michael Cera as Scott with Mary Elizabeth Winstead as Ramona. The film also starred Jason Schwartzman, Kieran Culkin, Chris Evans, Anna Kendrick, Allison Pill, and Brandon Routh, among others. Did you see that they did like a table read for look up Scott Pilgrim on IMDb, and there's they do a table read of a script for something that never got made in 2018. Look for Scott Pilgrim stuff from 2018, and Brie Larson and Kieran Culkin were the only ones who didn't come back for it. So clearly the people who did that, I mean, that's 8 years after the movie. It would be interesting to see if those characters, or if those actors come back to voice those characters in the anime. Right? Maybe, my dude. But I kind of like the art style of the original graphic novel. It's really good. And you think that would translate?
Yeah, it could, because they finally made an animated a movie of Diary of the Wimpy Kid. For me, I watched the live action, and I thought it would have been better as a animated film, which it did. It executed really beautifully.
So is this something where they could, because remember, I'm not familiar with that. Is this something that they could have done a live action continuation, or would that not feel right?
No, because a lot of things didn't make sense. So one of her exes, Ramona, it's a girl, but there's a scene where one of her weaknesses is behind her knees, and she does this weird orgasmic thing. Okay. And it doesn't translate well live action, in my opinion, because basically Scott
but the live action movie did well.
It did well because it was really funny and outrageous. I mean,
you mean age wise it wouldn't translate, doing this with them as older characters wouldn't work.
It wouldn't make sense. But if you did recast them as younger characters, I don't think it makes sense, because there's certain scenes of the original movie that didn't make sense, because it was very animated. So her last ex, basically he's playing the bass, so is Scott, and they're doing Battle of the Bands, and then there's weird comic stands popping out from the side of them.
Very 2010.
Yeah,
it fits that time period more than now.
Exactly.
I was looking up, because one of the things I was going to ask in this says what has Michael Cera been doing?
Oh yeah, let me search.
I realized that he was in what's the show that I never watched but people love, not Shameless. It'll be the first credit when he comes up there. Arrested Development, that's what it was. So he did 84 episodes of Arrested Development. But I realized what one of the channels that I listen to always refers to this time period is he kind of defined what would be called the manic pixie dream girl phase of Hollywood, meaning Juno. Michael Cera. I'm not kidding you. Like it's he was just a very like he was in all those movies, right?
Yeah.
So he was in Superbad, Juno.
He's gonna be in
Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist.
Mm-hmm.
Like all of those movies are they just exemplify 2004 to 2011, right?
Yeah. Also, the latest things that he's working on is Netflix Medical Police and in Crypto Zoo.
I don't know what Crypto Zoo is. It's he was in a Berenstain Bears TV show in 2018. Oy vey. So, yeah, I don't know what Medical Police is. Okay, here's what it was. This is that thing I was talking about. Scott Pilgrim versus the World Water Crisis. That was the thing I was talking about. It says, a majority of Scott Pilgrim cast reunite for a read-through of the screenplay on behalf of Water for People. So it must have been like some type of like benefit. Like social benefit. So Michael Cera, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Chris Evans, Anna Kendrick, Allison Pill, Audrey Plaza, Brandon Routh. Almost all that cast came back except for Kieran Culkin and Brie Larson. So that's funny. Like he's like the character still has some some social play.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that comes. I do believe that the failure of Cowboy Bebop is a bad sign, not because it's not inherently unadaptable, but because Netflix doesn't have the best track record of pulling this type of stuff. I would have been much happier seeing this at an Amazon Prime or even like a Hulu.
Well, maybe because it's more animated. What's the target audience that they're looking for?
That's a good question.
Because if their target audience is like older teens, I think they could do it.
I think because they're banking on the IP, the actual target audience is people my age who grew up with the people who, I guess that would be my age, right? Like, or maybe a little bit younger than me that grew up reading the original graphic novel.
Yeah.
Right. So that's one of the issues with all this stuff is like there's a disparity in who the target market for a lot of these properties is, right? Because it's
for sure.
It's technically made for younger people, but it's marketed towards people who were younger when it was first written. So it's made for younger people, but marketed to older people because the source material is from when those people were younger. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
I'm like confusing myself.
No, I got it.
Okay.
My chaotic brain got what you
got what I'm saying. Okay. So Michael Cera, I mean, it'd be interesting to see how this turns out. It's kind of like they brought Zombieland back after like 10 years.
I like it.
Did you like the new Zombieland?
I liked it because like they made a reference to Terminator.
Yep.
And then what's her name?
Oh,
the character Montana.
Yeah. Yep.
Montana, like she's a funny character. She's like, my name is Montana, and like she's like a ditzy blonde.
The second one was I mean, I really do think that those without Jesse Eisenberg is kind of one of those people that he tends to make he tends to be very like polarizing. People either love him or hate him, but a lot of people just hate him.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Cast.
Okay.
Because this is one of those movies where I was talking about with Jamie McShane. See. The whole cast, full cast and crew, double tap. Oh, that's a different thing. I was
so confused.
I was like, what the hell is double tap road trip? That's not something I've ever seen. Zombieland, like this era of movies, kind of is coming back in a way. Like I would like to see another a third Zombieland movie if they could get the same director. But Jesse Eisenberg, him and Michael Cera, I kind of put in the same category of actor, or The Social Network even.
Yeah. I was legit confused because there was a person named Luigi Cera and it looked like Michael Cera, and I was like, who is this?
You're talking about Tallahassee, right? Not Montana.
No, there's a character that they introduced named Montana.
Okay. In the new okay.
Yeah. And I thought it was so funny because they're like, how has she been alive this long? And they were like, oh, zombies like brains.
Dude, one of the worst things about all this is like, outside of like the rare movie that I love so much I go back and rewatch, there's so many movies that I'm just kind of meh, like I like, but I don't take the time to rewatch. And then like I feel like when I really like something, I watch it 2 or 3 times, I can get something different out of it every time, and I have a much stronger understanding of what the director wanted to create.
Mm-hmm.
But if I only kind of like it, I'm only going to watch it the one time, and I'm likely missing a lot more of what the director wants to get out of it because
Yeah.
I'm not giving it a rewatch. So it's like this weird double-edged sword. Like when you review movies,
Mm-hmm.
you're reviewing it based off usually one watching, right? Because you're
Yeah.
not going to go into the theater and watch it again, especially if you didn't really like it the first time.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
I feel like you do a disservice to both your own interpretation of the movie
Mhm.
and to the director, unless it's really bad.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I do myself a disservice because I'm not like taking in the full product, and then I'm having a hard time explaining what I liked about it, and that happens with movies like this.
Yeah.
Maybe I should go back. We should do like a segment where we review Scott Pilgrim. Maybe that'd be kind of interesting.
Yay.
It's like a throwback review.
Yay. Let's do it. I like that.
She loves
movie.
that idea.
Mhm.
Okay. I also want to talk about, because that's I mean the thing is this is like a years away, but to create it, I bet you it's
Well-
at least not that. I'm saying the Scott Pilgrim animated series likely
but-
years away. Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.
Bye.